So welcome back to another FIFA 23 career mode video. Today we're talking about the things you should do when you start career mode. This is a popular video every year and I hope it does help you guys out. And these are basically some of my best tips for when I start my own saves as well. Obviously if you play career mode pretty hardcore, you probably know most of these things already. But this could help even the beginners who just jumped into FIFA 23 and want to know what to do. If you find the video useful, make sure you leave a like for me, it always helps. And make sure you subscribe to get more FIFA 20. Start career mode. The moment you log into FIFA 23, it is important that you download the latest squads. This allows you to download the latest transfers and player stats and new faces when they come out as well. To do this, all you need to do is go to the Edit Teams settings, go to Download Updates, and it'll come up with a prompt saying, are you sure you want to download the latest updates? You click yes, and that will start applying to your save. Now also when you start a career mode, there's another way of downloading the latest squads as well. Before you start a career mode save, you will get a prompt that talks about downloading the latest updates. So once you click new career, there should be a prompt here that says download latest. So before you even start the save, click on that. It'll start applying the latest updates. And it's important because each week EA does a squad update. They edit the teams, they edit the stats, they sometimes introduce new player faces as well. So you don't want to start a save with outdated stuff like that. You need to apply the latest squad update to get all the latest information about the players. So next thing you need to do is decide if you want to do a manager or player career mode. Obviously both have their ups and downs. You know, they're not perfect modes, but they're two different ways of playing career mode. And obviously if you go down the manager route, you can create your manager or play as a real manager, which is a new feature this year. You have to decide if you want to use yourself as a real manager. You can pick from a lot of different ones, but there's a lot of generic faces as well, so keep that in mind. And if we go to England, for example, Arteta has a generic face. It doesn't even look like him. Eric Ten Hag, he's generic as well, but there is some real faces as well. So you have to decide if you want to use one of these managers before you even begin, because you can't change it after. Now obviously if you don't want to use a real manager, or the manager is generic in the game, you can create your own guy as well. And you guys know how that works. Now in terms of player career mode as well, you can create your player or play as a real player that currently exists in the world of football as well. It all depends on what you want to do, but don't forget, there's also the create a club section in manager mode, which you might want to check out as well. So let's say we advance here. You can see that create a club is available for the manager you create or select from the rule list. And that's basically where you go to do your created club. Some people want to do this instead of playing with a real club or doing player career. That's perfectly fine. You just have to decide before you start. Now let's say you want to do manager mode first. You need to have a type of save you want to do. So basically my first save is always with my favorite club, Manchester United. So I do that first because I find that I invest more time into the save and I enjoy it more if it's with a club I follow in real life. So I do enjoy my career modes with my favorite clubs. Now, if you're not like me and you don't want to do your favorite team straight off the bat, there's always other ways of playing manager mode. You can do rebuilds with certain clubs that fell from grace and maybe need a rebuild. There's also Road to Glory challenges where you can pick a team from the lowest division, work your way up, grind your way up and try and win the top divisions. That's always fun and it takes a long time to complete if you're going to play many of the games. Now there's also other ways of playing with certain clubs in the rest of the world section. So let's say you want to swap a team out. There's Wrexham, who belong in the Vanarama League, but you can put them into the 4th division as well and start them there, work your way up to the Premier League. That's pretty possible. And there's also another club called AFC Richmond, which is part of the Ted Lasso show. They came in as a new club this year in FIFA 23. You can throw them in any competition you want there and just use them in career mode. I put them in the Premier League, but you can put them in the lowest division and work their way up. There's many different ways of playing career mode as long as you have an objective for it. Storylines are pretty important for career mode saves, and if you find one that is interesting, then for sure go for it. You can even do a financial takeover with Newcastle United, give them $1 billion or something, I don't know. You can do it with any club you want really. Now if you don't want to use an authentic club, of course, you can go down the created club route, which is pretty fun as well because you can do different things. So you can throw them in any competition you want as well. You can replace a team, select your rival, create your kits and your stadium. But this is where the fun begins because you can determine what you want to do with your created club save. So let's say you want to have a team that's pretty weak. You can start them at 1 star, build your way up. If you want to have an established team, you can do that as well. Put them in the Premier League and start competing there. You can have a squad that's very young or an aging squad as well. So that is going to affect how you do your signings in career mode and stuff. If you want to do a financial takeover with the club, you can give them up to $1 billion. If you want to become a football giant, there's your expectations there. Small club mentality, youth focused, all that kind of stuff. Heavy debt as well. There's a lot of different options here. You can even do custom stuff. So create a club is fun in itself because this year as well, you can edit the players much better. You can give them new names, the boots, appearance, animations, all that kind of stuff. Essentially, you could do a team full of your family and friends if you really wanted to, maybe a school team, basically whatever you want here. And there's a lot more customization now. So it all depends what you want to do. You can go down the real or fake created club route. As long as you have a proper storyline for it, that's what you need to decide before you start manager mode, because manager mode without a storyline gets pretty boring quickly. Next up, we're going to talk about career settings. Now this is important because it happens before you begin your save. Some things you can't change afterwards. So things like match difficulty, you can set it there, but you can also change it afterwards. Half length, of course, you can change it. Currency, I don't believe you can. I think you can't. So you have to decide if you're going to do dollars, euros, sterling. That's up to you. European competitions, if you want to put your club into a European competition, this is where you have to do it. Otherwise, if they're not going to be there, then you can't change it afterwards. You have to qualify the manual way. Now, when it comes to the first transfer window, there's some saves that I like to disable it for because I want to keep everything legit for the first couple of months of the season until January. I find it's more realistic sometimes. But if you want to buy players straight away, you don't mind that the other clubs also sign players, you can keep it on. And basically you get the first summer transfer window. You can't change that afterwards, so you just have to do it here. International job offers is another setting that you need to set here as well. If you have a desire to manage a national team, keep it on. But if you disable it, remember that you won't get any job offers for the rest of your career in the save. So this is a big decision. You have to, decide if you want to manage international or not. Now, another setting that needs to be set here as well is the negotiation strictness. If you keep it on loose, there's a higher chance of you being able to buy whatever you look at. If you put it on strict, then it's a bit harder to sign the world-class talent. Even some other players that are not even world-class won't come to your team as well. So if you think that you're going to buy a lot of players and you want to do deals with certain players, keep it on loose. If you want more realistic stuff, put it on strict. And finally, the financial takeover is another one that needs to be decided here as well, because you cannot add financial takeover money later on. If you want to inject huge money into your club, set that up here. You can put up to $1 billion, and that's basically if you want to do like a financial takeover type of save. If you don't want to do that, you can keep it on default and keep whatever budget the club originally has. It just depends what you want to do with the save. If you want to boost up the budget a little bit, you can cheat a little bit here as well. Now, when you get into a save immediately, you'll get a preseason tournament invite. You can do this if you want. I know there's people that skip it. A lot of people don't care about preseason. And this year, there really is little incentive to play the preseason because if you don't come first, you don't get any prize money anymore. Before, I used to sim, get a bit of prize money even if you didn't do as well. But this year, you have to win it to get the money. Me personally, I don't know if I should bother doing this anymore, but you can sort of pick one, sim the games, and if you win it, you win it. Or you can even play it yourself if you want, but sometimes it's pretty hard to beat certain clubs in preseason like Juventus, Inter, it's a pretty good lineup there. But basically, if you don't come first, you don't get the prize money this year. And it's only 3 games you have to win on points or goal difference to win this sort of mini league. Now, one thing you should do when you start your save as well is go and check the board objectives. This is what you need to know as you play your save. When you play your save, it's all about board confidence. If it's green, then it's pretty good, but it all depends on the objectives, which you can find in the menus here. Different clubs are going to have different objectives for different categories. You can see with a club like United, we have an 80 popularity, but there is certain things we need to achieve to boost that score. If it goes too low, you can get sacked pretty early on. So it's important to know what they want from you. So let's see the youth development. That's critical. Brand exposure is critical. We need to sign 3 players born in South America. Continental success, you have to win the Europa League. Domestic success, finish in a Champions League place and win the FA Cup. Financial is very low, but you can still sign 3 crucial players and make a profit. Like I said, each club will have different things depending on the league they're in, the type of players they got and the money they've got and stuff. So check it out. It's one of the most important things for manager mode. Now that's pretty much it for part 1, but we've got part 2 coming this week with more tips as well, so stay tuned.